Now this is the food pyramid we grew up with, right? 9 to 11 servings of grains, right? About half and half fruits. Eat your healthy fruits and vegetables. When I tell people eat more fruits and vegetables, they tend to not eat more vegetables, but they eat a lot more fruit. And usually that's not like apples. It's usually apple juice, right? It's like processed fruit. So it's so out of whack. And you go through it, like, why is sugar even on the top of this thing? You don't need it at all. I don't even know why we'd ever recommend it. But here's how you should be eating. Your foundation really needs to be the rainbow of colors coming from vegetables. Okay? Mostly vegetables, and then this middle zone is going to be a little bit of your fats, your meats, and your fruits, preferably berries, because they're higher density nutrient per sugar content. There's just more bang for your buck in them. Okay? And then lastly, what we see up at the top here are nuts, seeds, legumes, lentils, these types of things. So this is really how we should be eating. Now this is different than paleo. Now when people ask, hey, so where do I get some recipes? I go on a paleo website. Because paleo websites have a lot of really great recipes that follow this. Here's where paleo's bad. Way too much meat. Way too much meat. What we know about animal products is when we look at things like animal product consumption, on average, most of those countries have higher rates of chronic disease. All right? So that whole China study thing, I think, overshoots the point, but there is a point to be made there, that we overeat animal products. But processed, don't kid yourself, processed plant material is also linked with it. So even if you become a vegan, but you're eating all this processed plant material, you're still creating tremendous amounts of disease. So the red to the green is the amount of processed plant material compared to chronic diseases, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, compared to countries with low amounts of it, right? So it's proportional almost. Of how much that process. Another problem we have with the overeating of animal products is there's too many of us. There's too many human beings for us all to be eating 100 and something pounds of beef a year. It's not economically feasible for us to do this. It takes 7.5 pounds of grains to get a quarter pound of beef. It's just not efficient. You know what I mean? It's just not efficient. It takes 53 gallons of fresh water to get a quarter pound of meat. You see, it's just not efficient. It takes 74 acres of land, square feet, not acres, square feet to get a quarter pound of beef. It's just not efficient. Now, when you say, how do we make it affordable, what we're doing is we're feeding these animals all this heinous GMO stuff. So we're primarily feeding them corn, which makes them diabetic animals. And so their fatty acid contents are screwed up, their toxin loads are higher, all these different things. So it's not just that it's inefficient economically, it's also that it's inefficient ecologically, right? So I'm a meat eater, but we need to get more sensible about how we do this. And it means that we're going to pay more for it because it means that you can't just squander our resources just producing meat. Okay? So it's not that I'm saying don't, I'm just saying there's got to be a more sensible way to go about it. And that's why against the paleo thing, the problem is all those processed meats, non-organic meats, everything else, it's just unsustainable. And it's not, there's evidence that much is not good for you as well. Does work at losing weight.